I'm going to start first by saying a very big thank you to you, Neema, for accepting my invite to come on Industry Voices with Lara today. Thank you so much. And it's lovely to have you on the chat.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
You're welcome. Before we take a deep dive into our conversation today, I would like to start off with a few background information about, basically the vision behind what we're doing. So this is Industry Voices with Lara, and it is powered by Vital Woman Magazine. Vital Woman was a calling that I received in 2009. And so over the years, we've run like in-person conferences, trade exhibitions, networking events, interviews on various different digital spaces. So basically, Industry Voices is still excuse me, is very much in line with our core mission at Vital Woman, which is basically creating a platform for women of faith to have an expression about the work they're doing. So it's really a space where we showcase not just talents, but achievements, lived experiences, and those sorts of things. So whether it's in our with our magazines or on our digital platform, the mission is the same, the vision is the same. So I am really excited about this. I'm really excited about the various guests that would be joining me on this chat show. And I've brought them in from many different industries. So it's really a conversation about their journey within their chosen industry, and just to see also the challenges they've experienced and how they've overcome those challenges. But first, getting to know them is, really key, because my passion is that others will, that people will connect with one another based on their vision and the work they are out there doing, the amazing work, I should add. Before I give the space over to Neema to speak to us, I will do a quick introduction about myself for those who don't know me. My name is Lara, and I'm the founder of Vital Woman. I work across different industries, and but my mission remains the same. It is to serve. It is to serve with authenticity and to help others achieve their success. So whether in the space of my lecturing or as a business coach, I'm very, very clear about my mission, and it is to serve. So that's the little bit I will say about myself. And now I will invite Neema, who is based in lovely Barcelona, Spain, an AI expert. I will invite you to tell us a bit about yourself, Neema. How do you like to introduce yourself?
Actually, I'm Neema Balolebwami Nelly. I'm an artificial intelligence expert. I'm an ethicist. I'm an economist. I'm a founder. I'm an entrepreneur. I have two companies. One's called I'm a venture builder, where we develop software, mobile apps, and websites. And the other is called Neema AI with my name, where I'm an instructor. I'm an AI instructor, so I provide training and as well education about AI.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so how do you think others close to you would describe you? What would you say would be the key words with which they would describe Neema?
Actually, people usually say I'm so curious because I'm always willing to learn.
Right.
I have two master degrees. I have five diplomas, but I'm still going to school. I like to learn. I want to discover things, and not only in AI, in any field. So people usually say I'm a curious person, and I
Mm,
smile a lot. I smile every 1 minute. So people are like, "You're so smiley." I like you. You know, you're so sociable. I would say people would say I'm
mm,
curious,
mhm,
open-minded, and a
mhm.
smiley.
Ah, that's lovely. That's lovely. It's always interesting to me, in terms the thing about people's location, their chosen location. So you are based in Barcelona, Spain. Can you tell us your reason for choosing that city or the nation? What was the attraction to Spain for you?
Actually, I ended up in Barcelona by accident. I'm
Really?
originally from Democratic Republic of Congo. And then I
Okay.
left my country. I went to study my first master degree. That was a 2 years master's studying in 4 countries. I did 1 semester in Italy, second semester in France, third semester in Germany, and the
All
fourth
right.
semester in Spain, but another city called Castellón de León. So when I
Yeah.
finished this master, I wanted to continue doing a PhD, and when I was looking for an admission, they asked me to have an academic master because I'm an economist by background. So my first master was economy and management. So, and
Right.
they said, your master is more MBA, it's more professional, but we need an
Mm.
academic one that will teach you how to post, how to do, no, how to publish, not posting, how to publish an academic paper. So, and this is how I was obliged to come here to Barcelona and study this
Mm.
academic master, which was like a pre-doctorate. So I was like, I want to go 1 year in Barcelona, having fun, going to the beach, and then go back to Germany because that time I was living in Germany. So
Right.
the first day I arrived in Barcelona, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so sunny, it's so beautiful. People are so nice here. So, and then after when I finished this master degree, I created my company 1 year after, and this is how actually I
Oh,
stayed here. I would say the company is the one that helped me, or I would say motivated me to stay in Barcelona. Yeah.
right, right. That's interesting. So you've moved across quite a few countries in Europe, and
Yeah.
I think your language is French. Your first
Yeah.
language will be French.
Yeah.
So how have you navigated these spaces in terms of language barriers?
Yeah, because first I'm from Congo, I speak French, and
Ah,
I went to study my bachelor degree in Uganda, where they speak English. So I learned English in Uganda during my 3 years of undergraduate. So, and
mm,
then when I moved to Europe, actually, mostly of the countries speak English everywhere.
yeah.
So when I was in Italy, I spoke English. When I went to France, I'm a French speaker. And when I went to Germany, I learned German. So,
Ah,
and then, yeah, when I came to Spain as well, I learned Spanish, and I live in Catalan because the place where I live here in Barcelona, we speak both Spanish and Catalan. So, and this is how actually it helps
wow.
me. Yeah,
That's amazing. That's truly an achievement. Well done.
thank you.
Right. So I'm intrigued to move the conversation into your view about how you would define success, especially, seeing that you have moved across different cultures, and just to see what your thoughts are about this. But before I listen to your definition or description, I just want to read Albert Einstein's one of his definitions of success. He says, "Try not to become a person of success, but rather try to become a person of value."
Hmm.
That's one of his thoughts, statements on success. Would you agree with this or disagree, or do you have a completely different view?
Definitely, I agree, and that this is my the same definition um,
Yeah.
that I have of success. Because for me, success
Mm.
means impact. When what
Mm.
I've done or what I build creates value in someone's life, or can be an influence, can be inspiration, or helping
Mm.
the business of that person to grow. So, I mean,
Mm.
creating this value as well for me is what I define as a success.
Mm. Fantastic. Fantastic. So, just talking about your purpose, how would you describe your purpose, especially as you are quite rich and diverse in your experiences and your work so far? But in terms of your purpose, what do you think that is? How would you describe it?
Actually, my purpose is serving people and
Mm.
inspiring people. Because
Yeah.
what I'm doing in technology, I'm guiding people to use technology in a
Mm.
humanized way. And
Wow.
besides my work, my profession, I have as well community of women who are empowering them. It can be in
Wow.
technology or into the daily life. So my purpose is
Mm.
serving people and inspiring them.
Beautiful. That's so good. Especially looking across different landscapes now and how we can no longer ignore technology.
Yeah.
We need to embrace it and look for ways to use it ethically. That's my opinion. So, in talking about your purpose, what life experiences or qualities do you think prepared you for this calling?
Wow. So I have a good story. Um,
Mm.
I've been born in Democratic Republic of Congo. I want to be a medical. Yeah, so this was my dream. So
Right.
I started studying at university. I study year one, year two, year three of medicine. Um,
Um,
and then when I arrived in year three, because
mm,
medicine is like 80 years in my country. So when I arrived
mm,
at year three, one of the
mm.
professor didn't want to give me my grade because I was a woman.
Wow.
So, um, and somehow the professor wanted to me to be with him in time of love, and he was married, had kid.
Oh.
So, and in my country, we have this system. If you don't pass to the main course, you have to restart the year from scratch again.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was supposed to restart the year again from scratch, and I had graded and I passed the classes. So
Oh,
I stayed home, I cried and I cried, and then I was like, no, this is not possible. My
mm,
daddy used to be an inspector of studies, so
right.
inspector, like those kind of
Yeah.
inspectors. So he was quite being known in my city. My city is not that much big. So I was like,
Mm,
they know my dad. Even this professor don't know my dad, and I failed.
mm,
So this is impossible. And then I was like, how about those lady to whom the dad are not known, were coming
mm.
for, I would say, underprivileged condition. So I was
Yeah.
like, this is the end. You know what I did? I went to university. I mobilized students to my university. Not only my university, I went to other university in my region, in the rural area,
Mm,
everywhere. And I was like, we need to do manifestation now and ending violences of women at university. So I don't know what
mm,
was driving me. I had only like a zeal. So people was
mm,
following me. And for 3 days, we did a manifestation, and we
mm,
had like the TV journalist who came to interview me. I don't know even what I was talking about, because now when I see the video, I'm like, was it me or not?
mm.
So this is like,
Let's see.
I would say 20 years ago. Sorry, it's a
Mm.
little bit windy. So
Ah.
and then during this interview, I passed to the national TV because I was like,
Ah.
yeah, I passed to the national TV, and the policy makers or people do research were like, what is going on into the eastern part? Because I've been born in the eastern part of Congo. So they
Right.
investigated and they knew about my case, that the professor didn't want to give me my grade, and then this is how we are
Mm.
revendicating about our right. So
Right.
and then from that, they created a law in the country to protect women at university. So
Wow. Such
first,
an
I took
achievement.
a risk. Yes, you see, first I took the risk because after this
Mm.
manifestation, me being on TV, because I didn't pass on TV once, so people started inviting me. Um,
Mm.
I took this risk because after I couldn't go to university anymore. In any university, I wasn't accepted to any university in my region after
Wow.
this manifestation. So this is actually what led me to leave my country and go to Uganda to look for new
Mm.
things. So and then after, when I saw this, I was like, okay, something I did because of the zeal, and because I was crying and I want to really to fulfill my desire of showing that
Mm.
I had the right. led
Mm.
to having a law to protect the entire country. And then I
Wow.
was like, there is something in me that can help humanity, can help society. So
Mm.
actually, this is how I saw like, okay, um, first I love technology, and then I was like, if I use
Right.
this technology and human and like stimulate or teaching people how to humanize this technology, we can create something
Mm.
meaningful for people,
Right.
for society,
Mm.
without being harmful. So this is how I end up
Right.
in technology. Yes.
Ah, that's so interesting. So, would you say then that that industry is what you will call home today? So, you've moved across medicine
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then eventually found your way into technology. So, which industry do you think you would call home professionally?
um, no, currently is technology. I want to be honest, but still, when I'm developing mobile apps,
Mm-hmm.
medical mobile apps.
Yeah.
Recently, we developed a technology for Crohn's disease, and I felt really being connected. I was like, oh, maybe there's something missing. I need to be in healthcare, because I feel like there's something there. Like, I don't know. So I'm
Mm.
like, how can I use this AI actually to improve the way medical professional doing the
Right.
diagnosis. So
Mm.
actually, for me, ending in technology, I mean so after being graduated, I quit the
Mhm.
company where I started with consultancy. And then
Yeah.
after this was 2019, and then after
Mhm.
I've seen company was struggling to bring new innovation or create new
Mhm.
technology. That time they used to call it deep tech
Right.
into
Okay.
the system, like things for automation, for data analysis, for prediction. And then I was
Mm.
like, I need to shift from technology, no, from consultancy to technology. And then one
Mm.
thing I did first was to take a boot camp, a training, learning how
Okay.
to code. So I took a 6 month data science training before I
Mm.
jump into this new business model that was creating or developing technology for new companies. Because even if I
Okay.
had a team, but I wanted to
Mhm.
understand how it works, how things goes.
Right.
And so this is how I shift from consultancy for management to technology.
Mm.
So and
Oh.
then when once I arrive again in technology, it's industry which is more male dominated, and
Right.
we have less women. There's a huge gap, and I usually used to find myself as the only one black woman. I mean, I'm talking about Spain.
Mm.
This should be different in UK or France or US. And
Mm.
then being there as well, there are many challenges. Being only black, and then
Yeah.
being again woman, and then being in tech, because people are questioning about your skill, your abilities, always.
Mm.
And I've been there for 8 years, but always people questioning it. And so this is a challenge.
Mm.
And I think this is another motive that pushed me to stay there, because I was like, we need representation. For sure,
Mhm.
I love what I do, but the other
Mhm.
side is like, we need this representation as a
Yeah.
woman being there, and a black woman as well. And so, and this is,
Mhm.
I would say, one of the motives that I'm still being
Right.
here in this field. Yeah.
That's so interesting. That's so interesting because my next question was going to be in the area of the challenges that you would have faced, during your journey
Mm-hmm.
within that industry. I'm sure there would be several that comes to
Yeah.
mind, but I wanted us to talk about which one you would consider the most uh, challenging event or um, issue that you had to deal with? Would you say it's the issue of gender and race?
Yeah, I would say there is a small microaggression. So this can be 5%
Mm.
under 95. 95 is positive, but we have the 5%. And if you know our
Mm.
brain, we usually focus on the negativities. For
Mm.
example, one day I went to an office to collect
Mm.
data. By building an AI, we need data. So I need the data of
Right,
this company. So when I
right.
arrived at the door, the person, the receptionist didn't know me. And I
Right.
was smart. I had my blazer. I just went in a professional setting.
Yeah.
So once I arrived there, the person was like, "Hey, we don't have cleaning jobs here." I
Wow.
was, what? I look at my blazer. I look at my computer. I was like, I know. And then at the end, I was like, no, I'm the engineer, the one who's supposed to come to collect data here,
Oh,
And the person looked at me again, huh? Where are you from? Where did you
oh,
study? You understand what I mean? So
mm,
there's still this microaggression that we're still having, and the
mm,
misrepresentation. I believe if there
mm,
was another black woman who passed before, I couldn't have this challenge. But still, I'm still
mm.
the only one, I would say, in the ecosystem. It's
Wow,
just like,
wow.
yeah, it's just now after 8 years
Mm,
that I can see a new lady, but see, she's not really into um, deep tech. For me, I
right,
developed from scratch, but she's like
right,
having like a software. So
right.
it's good. I like her being
Yeah.
there, but always I usually
Mm,
find myself in the room.
right,
So
right.
one part it's positive because I gain a lot of visibility. I don't need to introduce myself
Mm,
to anybody because in an
mm,
audience of 3,000 people, everyone will recognize me. But there's
right.
still smaller things that takes 5%
Mm,
only that is still like going on over
mm,
time, and then yeah, those
yeah,
microaggressions, small micro. That's why I call
yeah.
microaggression. Yeah,
Microaggressions.
and I really have to prove myself every time. I think
Mm,
this is what um, brought me to public speaking.
mm,
I mean, I know it's something that happened to me because people invited me, but I was like, I need
mhm,
to really use it to my advantages because it's
mhm,
helping me into
mm,
representation and visibility. Because I mean,
right.
there are still this microaggression.
Mm. Oh, wow. Wow. That's remarkable. It is truly remarkable that you continue to thrive even
Hmm.
despite that massive challenge, because this sort of challenge I know firsthand from experience as well, that it can impact on your well-being, you
Hmm.
know your mind, your emotions even. So how do you sort of regulate yourself, knowing that sometimes I'm going into this space,
Hmm.
and this might happen? What sorts of tools, um, um, I would say, in terms of wellness,
Yeah.
have you embraced in helping you to stay on top of things?
Actually, listening to others' testimony, can be American,
Mm,
can be British, or can be
mhm.
Cameroonian, other people talking about
Right.
themselves being in the room, even if in different condition, and listen to
Mm,
how they strive. So can be podcast.
mm,
And then before going there, I need to recharge before. It's like a
mhm,
day before, I know when I go to this important meeting, I'll go to the mountain myself and
mm,
concentrate. And then
mm,
after the day after, I'll go there energized. So for me,
mm,
sometimes I put colors because color usually give me energy. Uh,
mm,
the fact that I'll be bright can helps me to approach
mm.
someone.
Right,
So I
right.
get prepared. I put colors, and
Mm,
a day before, I have my time alone, so I don't
mhm.
socialize a day before. And then when I'll be
Right.
there, I'll be ready. So even if I want to
Mhm.
find this negativity there, I'm usually after this the
Mm,
event, forget. It's just like I clean everything and I go back home. Because before I
right.
used to bring them back home and they went to depression. I went to depression of 3 months,
Wow.
and I
Wow.
realized my business wasn't growing anymore. I wasn't productive. And I was like,
Mm,
oh my goodness, I can't really stay like this because this
mm,
happened, but not often, but it happened
right.
sometimes. So I was
Yes.
like, I need to start putting as well boundaries. As
Mhm.
I've been in this industry for years, I know already this
Right.
type of people are good for me. This I'll be accepted to this group or this
Mm,
networking event. And sometimes
mhm.
myself, I don't accept some people. So this is normal. I wouldn't say that
Ye-
I need to be accepted everywhere. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So
yeah.
this is what I want to mention. I've
Mm,
been born in a family of 12. I'm number 11, but I could
right.
see I have some brother to whom I can approach straight away, and the other one I'm like, I need to think twice or 10 times. And the others, even if I think 10 times, they'll be like, no, 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 no. So you
Yeah,
understand?
yeah,
So if
yeah.
my brother and sister in the 12 family can somehow
Mm,
express this rejection, even if it's
yeah,
kind of, so how
yeah.
about people that I just meet somewhere in the event? So I usually go with
Mm,
this mindset, set, going recharge. putting some colors, and then colors,
Mm,
and be really formal, because here we need it's really really valuable and non-communication style. And then the
mm,
other, listening to testimony of other lady who passed through what I'm
mm.
doing, even if they've been in different ways or different environment. Yeah.
Oh, that is so brave of you. And yeah, I think you're just really courageous.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful to see that we don't give up and we keep pushing through,
Yeah.
to
Mm,
make sure we fulfill our life's assignment, really. We will come up against these obstacles or challenges, but
yeah.
it's interesting to see how we navigate our way uh, around so that we can overcome the challenges and keep pushing forward. So thank you so much for sharing that. I'm sure that would really help someone who may be going through that a similar
Yeah.
experience at the
Mm,
moment, or maybe later in the future when they're watching
mhm.
this. And this could, I believe, this would be a source of encouragement for them to see that
Yeah.
they're not sometimes the only one going
Yeah.
through whatever they're going through, and especially as you said about you staying in community to have conversations and
Mhm.
connections with others who have experienced such and
Mhm.
hopefully overcome them, and how that helps you, in your journey as well. I believe that your story would equally help other people who are maybe thinking about navigating that space and they're feeling a bit kind of, they're receiving some pushback and they're thinking, what's going on? It's never a reason to quit.
Yeah.
If it's for you, if it's that space that you're supposed to be in, you can
Yeah.
succeed. Yeah.
I like the quote of Nelson Mandela, who said,
Mhm.
"Never give up until it's done."
Mm,
For me, it's forever in my head. I will never give up.
mm,
So, and when I
mm.
feel overwhelmed, I usually call someone. You remember I called you one day, and I was like, da, 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 da,
Yes.
da, 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 da. I talked to you to the phone, and then thank you for the advices. And after that, I felt being free. You know what I mean? And continue the
Mm.
journey, because this is a journey. We'll always find
Yeah.
challenges. Nothing,
Yeah.
everything will not be what do you say? Light. You know what I mean? We'll
Mm,
always
mm.
find challenges, but we have to overcome and continue and remember our
Yes.
dreams and remember our purpose in life.
Mm.
So this
Yes.
is how actually I am. So when I'm
Mm.
very overwhelmed, I call someone. Like, I just want to
Mm.
talk. And sometimes
Mm.
I tell someone, I don't want you to give me response. Just listen. I need your ear.
Right.
But someone
Yes.
I want to trust, and
Yeah.
especially people of my, I would say, my background, I would say. So, and
Yeah.
then I want to talk,
Yeah.
and I want to talk, and I talk, and then I talk, feel free, and move on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand the need for that,
Yeah.
um, especially with certain situations, because sometimes you're looking for somebody who understands or has an idea of what this might be or what it
Yeah.
might be like. And yeah, it's just like, somebody who has that sort of, maybe they've had that experience, which I can say definitely that most of us have. But it's never a reason to give up, like you said. So I really like that. I really like that.
Yeah.
Amazing. My next area of discussion was going to be taking us into, DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. Um, and this is so dear to my heart because this is a topic that I teach across my different modules to my students, in the area of sustainability, in the area of workplace culture, and all of these, trying to be more sustainable in our approaches and to be more ethical. So within your industry, the technology industry, um, what would you say is the place of DEI at the moment? I know you've touched on like gender equality, But in terms of inclusion or diversity, do you think things are getting better? And you've been in the industry for many years now, so
Um, I would say 6 years, like active 6 years. Yeah.
right, right,
I would say there are many
mm,
changes now because
mm,
there is this the the search of talent because every
right,
company want to be competitive, adopting new technology,
mm,
and they
yeah,
want talent to build this technology. You know,
mhm,
so
mhm,
and so they don't have any choices when it comes to recruitment. You can be black, you can be
mm,
Asian, you can be yellow, and you'll
mm,
have your opportunities, especially in tech. You
right,
have just to
oh,
remember the technology of my industry, AI development is a
mm,
backstage work. But when it
yeah,
comes to um, like the place of leadership, a place of visibility, this is a problem to have this position.
mm,
Who want to give it to
right,
you? You know what I mean? So I
yes,
would say the AI part, which is the backstage, is no problem when it comes to
mm,
recruitment. I've seen many black people being recruited, Asian, Indian,
mm,
or American as well being recruited here, place where I live, or not only here in
mm,
Europe. So there are not many challenges, especially if you know um, uh, what are the requirements on the job offer. So
right.
there are many opportunities now that I can see there is a huge inclusion. Yeah.
Mm, that's really good. So you've touched on race and the gender, um, female and race within your selected industry. In terms of pay gap, gender pay gap, what is that looking like at the moment?
Actually, men are paid double than women.
Wow.
Yeah, and not only in my industry. Or for
Mm,
example, what I charge, and I'll be honest, is um compared to a man,
mm,
it's like a man charge I would say 30% more than what I charge.
wow.
Yeah, because this is how it's accepted. This is the system. How can I change it? And I need
Mm,
to move on. Yeah. So this is it. So um, men are well perceived than women,
mm,
and not only in my industry. I tried as well to do research in other industries, even the
mm,
sports. You know, we have a big football club here in Barcelona, and you can
mm.
see how women are paid. It's like divided by 100 compared to men.
Wow.
So it's like nothing. It's like what a man receive per day is what a woman receive per month. You know.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
bad.
So actually, I mean, it's still a huge challenge. Yeah. Not only in my industry, but
Mm,
I see like
mm,
it's still really, really tough. Yeah.
mm. What then do you think could help shift that? What could be the solution?
Having more representation, especially at the position of policymakers, because the majority are
Mm,
men. Policymakers are person who create the law, a person who creates
mm,
all these policies, rule, regulation. So
mm,
once if you have a representation of women there, it
mm,
will help us to have this balance because we are doing advocacy on a daily basis. It can be on TV, it can be
mm,
creating congresses, it can be even reaching out to debate, even um,
mm,
to different commission. But
mm.
we are not yet there. So we need more representation into this leadership position of
Mm.
policymakers, and so this will
Wow.
help us actually to shift into this balance.
Mm. Oh, that's wonderful. Yes. Really going behind the curtain to make the change, that impact that
Mhm.
is needed. That's fantastic. Fantastic. So let's move um, beyond your work and talk about your calling generally, like within, because I know that you have other groups of women that you work with in different parts of the country. You mentioned a group in Valencia. Um, so, in looking beyond just your profession, how would you describe your calling? What does that look like
I would say,
beyond
yeah,
beyond tech?
I would say teaching. Teaching has been part of my
Mm.
passion. You know, I've been born in a Christian family. My mom used to be a pastor, but my dad used to be only a normal Christian.
Right,
And then being born there, I was exposed to teaching church already into the youth
right,
program. And I grew up
right.
like this in my teenagerhood. And before even
Mm.
moving, coming to Europe, I used to
Yes.
teach.
Ah.
Teaching is like preaching, but it's like a preaching,
Mm.
a teaching, and
Yeah.
using my own example. And then
Right.
when I came here as well, doing public speaking for me, I usually say teaching. And not that,
Mm.
sometimes I have classes at university, I'm teaching. And I really
Right.
usually feel good because I'm transferring a knowledge to someone who didn't have
Mm.
it. So I
Mm.
usually feel like it's teaching.
Something beyond just your own, your own success or yourself. You're helping
Yeah,
others, progress in whatever they choose, to do. And
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And
So let's talk about the preaching because I
mhm,
remember, the different times we've had our conversations privately. I remember you mentioned about your work, as a youth in the church,
mhm.
like with your mom's ministry and that sort of thing, and then your some of your other experiences in the Christian faith. But mentioned something about atheism that caught my attention.
Which one?
Atheism, atheist. Did you did we have any
Can you
conversation?
reformulate it? The word?
Right. Well, I think this was during some of our other conversations, and some people that you had around you, you were finding it a bit difficult to, I mean, like navigate. But I think eventually
Ah,
you settled down, and you were able to, embrace them and move on. But I feel like that that strength and the wisdom to do what you've done has come from your background,
oh yeah.
how you've grown up within the family and your Christian faith. So just speak to us a bit about your faith and
Yeah.
how that helps you in all these different spaces, because I know you're trying to be conservative, but I know that God has really moved you into some spaces that are quite influential, and i'm just I'm just excited to see how he's giving you the wisdom to navigate those spaces.
Ah, now understand. I didn't understand the word atheism. So I wanted to, English
Yeah.
is not my first language.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, as you explain, I understand the concept.
Mm,
Being black and living
mm,
here, um, as you can see on social media, I met amazing people. I met the King of Spain
mhm.
more than 5 times. It has
Wow,
been 3 weeks ago. I met him again. So it's just like
wow.
I met the president of Spain, minister, and they all
Mm,
know me. And I would say,
mm,
as a Christian, this is a great. So
mm,
before me moving to Barcelona, it wasn't my willingness. I prayed.
mm,
So there's
mm.
something that we are forgetting as Christians, especially living in Europe or
Yeah,
even moving outside of our normal environment where we've been born. Is like we
yes.
usually forget to ask God. So
Mm,
I prayed because after finishing my master, I applied to different university. I applied in UK. Even UK, I had even a scholarship. Yeah,
right.
at Nottingham University.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I applied to Netherlands. I applied to different places
Mm,
in Canada, to University of Laval. And then
wow.
after I prayed, when I prayed, I was fasting. And then I
Mm,
saw Barcelona. I was like, God, no, no, no,
wow.
Barcelona? Me? No, 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 no. I told him, Barcelona can go there only for vacation. What am I going to do in this city? What is there? You know what I mean? And I said, no. I said,
Wow.
no. I think God continued. He insisted even for a month. You know what I mean? Talking
Mm,
to me in the dream, sending me people to confirm. And then until I was like, let me go to this, whatever, Barcelona. And this is how I came to Barcelona. I want to be honest, this is how I behave. And even if I was here in Barcelona, can you believe I couldn't take Spanish classes? I was taking German class to improve my German while living Barcelona because I couldn't see myself here. You know what I mean? Until I
right.
was like, let me see what this God wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is how I create a company and then move on. For sure, I had challenges, but I move on.
Mhm.
And then
Wow.
after years, when I started seeing the fruit, I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe, For sure, I
Mm.
had these challenges of people around me because you usually have
Mm.
jealousy. How come someone from
Mm.
outside who just come here, you speak
Yeah.
our language with accent, but you have a
Mm.
favor, I've met
Mm.
people who have been born here and who are really they retired already. They've never been seen a king, like even in a
Yeah.
distance. Not only the king. I mean, but for me, I have a favor. I have the mayor is my
Mm.
friend, kind of thing.
Wow.
But when I say it's a grace, it's not me, and it's a grace
Mhm.
because I accepted this challenge. For me,
Yes.
living in Barcelona, and then I
Mm.
work on it as well, putting my professional insights, praying on that, studying,
Mm. Yeah.
upskilling myself, meeting people, doing
Yes.
what I'm supposed to do. Because
Yeah.
I've seen other people once God send them or God show them a place they're supposed to live, they usually stay
Mm.
praying, reading the Bible. This is amazing. But you need to really
Mm.
do your part as well as the human,
Yes.
acting, practicing, and see what God
Mm.
want to do. I mean, I
Mm.
saw the fruit or I would say, the meaning why God called me here. I think
Right.
after 3 years being in the
Mm.
industry, and then I was like, oh, God, I was like, I'm grateful, even if I'm having all these challenges, but I'm thankful because even if I would be in the other country, I would never have this opportunity, for example, to meet this kind of people.
Mm.
I'm not
Yeah.
talking about only meeting people and how people they position me in the city. In
Mm.
2022, I used to be the ambassador of Barcelona, and this wasn't my willing.
Wow.
It's the city
Mhm.
council that called me and say we want you to be the ambassador. So, do
Wow.
you know how many black ladies living here working it can
Mm.
be in art, in fashion,
Mhm.
or other industry, and they have more visibility than me, a
Yeah.
simple entrepreneur with my computer. That's fine. So,
Mm.
but I wasn't chosen as the ambassador of Barcelona. So I would say this is
Mm.
a grace, and this is what God created as my path. And at the end, I
Mm.
accepted to be in this path. But because the beginning I said no. I said no
Mm.
what more than 100 times. I said, God, no, 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 no. You want me taking this time. This was like, no. Because I was in Germany
Mm.
studying and I was working. It's a country of
Mm.
many opportunities. I've never been to
Yeah.
UK to compare. I was
Right.
good. I
Yeah.
love it. So when telling
Mm.
me to come in the country and create from scratch, do you know how
Mm.
challenges it for me? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is how I accepted.
Amazing.
I embrace the challenges. I learn a
Mm.
lot on my daily basis, and I'm still learning. I'm still shifting
Mhm.
into my past and go.
Yes.
And I would say the other way, not only my profession, the way I create this
Mm.
community is the way God called me to create faith to these people. Not faith only in terms of Christianity, but faith
Mm.
that you can achieve your dream as well. Look, I'm
Right.
from Congo, and you've been born
Mm.
here. You can do
Yeah.
better than me. Yeah, it's another
Mm.
calling that God wanted me to implement or here
Yeah.
into the world. So I would say
Yeah.
being here wasn't my willingness. Believe me, I would never be
Mm.
here. But
Wow.
because I listened to God's word, and
Mhm.
this is how I'm actually enjoying, I would say, the
Yes.
fruit of my effort and the fruit of
Yeah.
what God reserved me in this country.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Talk about stepping out in faith.
yeah,
That's amazing. That's such a beautiful story. And thank you for sharing that because, again, I feel like, and I know that
yeah.
some other people will be encouraged even by
Hmm.
you sharing that story.
Yeah,
Because obedience,
yeah,
it can be tough, like you
yeah,
said, because we can only see what, up until a certain extent. We can basically only see what's in front of us. But God holds the future in his hands. And it's just amazing how he will call us out into different spaces and
yeah,
just so that he can shine his light across, the entire world, really, and
yeah,
living through us and partnering with him is the only way. I mean, we see it displayed beautifully in the book of Acts. And today we are his witnesses. And it doesn't come without challenges, but thank you for sharing that, because I believe others will be encouraged. Maybe they in a state, constantly God is asking us to step into the deep, to step out and to launch into the deep and all of these things. And it's a good reminder for some other people who have done the same in the past. Maybe God is asking them to do something today that they might be a bit fretful about, but He's faithful. He's
Yeah.
faithful.
It's always important to ask God. God talks, even if He wants to
Yes.
do the dream, but you can see something,
Mhm.
He has a
Yes.
many ways of speaking to
Yes.
someone.
Mhm.
I asked God many times when I arrived here, do you want me to preach? Because I thought God wants me to be a preacher,
Mm.
is what I used to do in my country back then. But God
Right.
said, no, I have another mission. So I was like, another
Mhm.
mission? I was asking myself, what type of mission? I didn't know that my mission was representation. It's like the fact that
Mm.
I'm into this room of 3,000 person alone. I take these
Mm.
pictures and another person can see it and feel encouraged.
Mm.
It's another mission, you know? It's
Mm.
serving God. So for me, I was like, God,
Yes.
am I not preach? What is going on here? But he said, no. Yeah. So I was like, okay,
Wow.
I understood everyone has its own role in the world. Some people can be
Yes.
preachers, other
Yeah.
people can work in protocol, evangelism, and
Yeah.
others what can be in this
Yeah.
profession. The way
Yeah.
or the fact that they are only there, performing
Mm.
there,
Mm.
it's another way of preaching. Yeah.
Yes. Indeed. Indeed. Amazing, amazing. It's amazing because there's some people that you can reach that
Yeah.
the preacher cannot reach because they would already push back, like I don't want that stuff. But because you've built some kind of relationship,
Hmm.
God can begin to even use your life
Hmm.
um, as a reason for them to be curious and
Yeah.
ask questions, and and then the conversation goes on, and
Yeah.
all of that. It's really amazing and beautiful to see. So going back to the women that you're helping, helping and supporting to move up into these spaces, can you see any other like work ahead of you within that space of serving people in that sort of manner?
Yeah, so me, I'm like a creator. I can create a
Mm.
community, mobilize people, and they will come
Mm.
straight away. I have
Right,
this
beautiful.
facility. I can bring everybody together, but
Mm.
maintaining those people for me to challenge, like because people,
Mm.
what I realize in my community is people are going through a lot. Not
Yes.
only, we have entrepreneurs, we have even people who are just landing here. We have
Mhm.
students, and some people might have issues with a mental issue. So I'm not
Mm.
capable of doing that because I have
Yes.
my potential is to gather you coming together. So, but
Yes.
following one by one, it has been a
Mm.
challenge, and I feel like
Mm.
we need other women hand to come and help those women in terms of
Mhm.
um, being behind them, follow up,
Yes.
knowing how they are doing, how they can
Yes.
have mental. So I'm thinking about starting a program of mentorship so that they
Right.
can have a mentor who will be with them one by one. So it can be even
Mm.
entrepreneurship, it can be a career growth, it can be as
Right.
well into the personal well-being. So this is
Mm.
kind of things that I don't have a potential, but I have a
Yes.
potential of gathering mentees, mentors, and bring them
Right.
together 100%. But
Right.
following one by one, I know my
Yeah.
limits. Everybody knows
Yes.
his limits.
Yes.
I have mine. So I think this is a challenge that I'm still having. Like,
Yes.
we need
Mm.
more women to come and help
Mm.
into this follow up of one by one.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that we
for
can create a
sure.
healthy society of women.
Yes.
Together we can encourage
Yes.
others. We can empower. Yeah,
Mm. For sure. That's
yeah,
amazing. That's amazing. But the vision is always bigger than us.
yeah,
Always bigger than us. And yeah, but God's hand is on it. He's sent you out. And yeah, yeah, it's just amazing to hear that, because that speaks to the fact that there's a lot more ahead
yeah.
uh, for you. So yeah, just to say thank you again for what you've been doing. with these women. It's really, it takes a lot, because you're giving out of your resources to, to be a blessing to others. So God bless you. God bless you. And
Amen.
may he continue to, have his way in all that he would have you do, even in the future.
Amen.
So let's talk about your legacy. Your legacy. What do you want that to look like?
My legacy is creating, because my legacy, I mean, it depends of the environment I'm living in, but it's
Right.
creating, it's opening a door to another woman behind. Yeah,
Mm,
because for what I've passed through and what I'm striving in, I'm
mm,
creating a door to other, I would say,
right.
black women are coming behind
Yeah.
me. So this is my legacy, just creating a path
Mm,
to a way, where
mm,
there's no path, I would say. So I'm just
right.
creating a path to someone else of your
Right.
background. I wouldn't say only black women. It can be
Yeah.
a
Right.
man, it can be an engineer, but just create a path to that. Yeah, so it's my legacy.
Mm,
Create a path to another woman. Yeah.
right. That's beautiful. And if you could describe what that looks like for now, because I know our vision expands, and
Mhm.
we keep going, and then God says, okay, do this. But for now, what does that look like? Maybe in terms of um, the description of the platform, for that.
Mhm.
If somebody watching this wanted to, come on board and, benefit from what you're giving to all these other women, what does that look like? How would you describe it that would make them know whether, yes, this is definitely something I would like?
So everyone has its own reality depending of what you're doing,
Mm,
how you're living, your background as
mm.
well, and your calling, especially your calling. Actually, every time I meet someone and I know you're
Mm,
Christian or you're Muslim, I usually take them into Muslim.
mm,
Because
mm.
Muslim pray. I've seen a lady,
Yeah.
she's
Mm,
Muslim, and I'm like,
mm,
she usually asks God every time. I'm like, oh
mm,
wow. So first you have to know your calling. You can have
mm,
something that you are passionate about. You love it. For
mm,
example, I would say, I love being a medical professional, but God didn't see me as a medical professional. He saw me like,
mm,
I would say, in technology, humanity,
mm.
representation matter somewhere. I don't know how I'm gonna call my title. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
if I'll be a medical professional, I love this. I would be in the hospital into
Right.
so I
Yeah.
wouldn't be leaving what I'm doing. I wouldn't uh,
Mm,
like acting is what God called me to do.
mm,
So I would say for you to realize that this is your calling, I mean,
mm.
first you have to like it, and it's something that should happen to
Yes.
you easily. You know what I mean?
Mm, mm.
Yeah, just representation for sure. I created the pass for me 2 years ago, no, 5 years ago at the beginning, and then
Mm,
it has exploded, and I'm living it on a daily basis without any effort.
mm,
This teaching
mm.
things, public speaking, training,
Yeah.
it's that people usually reach out to me. I've never done a marketing of that. And this is how I
Right.
knew, oh, this is my calling. I really want
Right.
to create more potential. This
Right.
public speaking side or training
Mm,
side, community reach out. Some people usually
mm,
ask me, why are you a software engineer? Why are you coding behind your computer? This is not your work. Your work is to be outside, always being there outside, smiling, talking to people, not be behind your computer, and not one
mm,
person or 10. You have this validation of people as well, and that's how you understand,
mm.
oh, this is my calling. You can be someone you want to open your small shop or selling mangoes, for example, but
Yeah.
people will tell you you have a potential of selling because you know how to calculate money, or you have to, you know how
Mm,
you know
yeah.
to manage it. So I mean, you can have this validation from people, you know.
Yes.
I wouldn't say
Yes.
everybody needs to be in technology. For sure, to
Mm,
my field, and I saw the gap, and I'm like,
yeah.
yeah, if God gave me some gift
Yeah.
to motivate people to come in, because we need
Right.
to reduce this gap, I can
Mm,
contribute on that. But I know it's something for
fantastic.
years. But still, we need to fight on it. So I'm not
Mm,
contributing only to reduce this gap within my community. I go to school. Currently, we are into the campaign where we go to reach out to
Mm.
primary school, secondary school
Oh,
in the entire region, inspiring
oh,
them to study STEM. So I'm into
yeah,
many things, and I'm not doing
right.
it only within my community. I have a community of Black,
Mm,
I have a community of Tech. I go as well outside on that. You know what I mean? Yeah,
right.
because we are the people of the world, not the people of one corner. This is what I learned
Mm,
coming from Congo, being in Italy, France. I usually the world is ours. We need to enjoy the world. So for you to be
yes.
sure about the calling, first you have to
Mm,
like it, and something that you will
mm,
do without effort, and people will reach out to you many times on that. So this is how you will
mm,
realize. And the other part is asking God,
right.
like, God, what
Mhm,
am I supposed to do? God will
mhm.
always answer. I mean, He will
Yes.
always, always, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, as we begin to conclude, um, I would like to ask you to leave us with, you know, some explanation about the AI space. As you know, there are just so many questions around AI, and the people fear the threat of losing their jobs to AI. So I don't want to let you go without you telling us something about that. How should we view AI in terms of our different industries?
Actually, AI is a helper. It's not a
Okay.
substitute of human labor because they're machines.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, AI helps to automate this repetitive task that you used to do many times per month. For example, when I
Mhm.
have to create content or social media or writing an
Mhm.
email, I usually
Mhm.
ask ChatGPT or any platform, and
Mhm.
then I humanize it. It's like I edit the text based on my
Right.
tone and how I want people
Mhm.
to read it. But you
Mhm.
see, instead of spending 2 hours writing an email, I'll have
Right.
it in a minute. It's like it helps to
Mhm.
automate this repetitive task. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm into coding when I'm developing a website. I want to be honest, I developed a website for 5 days, and mostly it usually take me a month. But I'm going with AI,
Mhm.
so I know already what is going on, how it
Yes.
works. But I got with AI, and it helping me to optimize and moving
Mm.
fast and be more efficient. And I built a
Mhm.
beautiful website, just for five
Wow.
days, the same as I could do it for a month. Not only website. So I would say I would encourage people. Technology is moving so fast. Don't be
Mm.
left behind, please. Learn
Mm.
to use all
That's good.
these tools that we have. Not only
Mm.
ChatGPT, upskill
Mm.
yourself or reskill yourself.
Mm.
We have many programs online that will help you even with the basic understanding of AI, and this will open
Mm.
your mind as well. Yeah, so
Right.
I mean, AI, it's so important. It's not a substitute, but it's a helper.
Mm.
And in the
Right.
5 years from now, there are many jobs for sure that will be taken by AI. So
Right.
if
Yeah.
you don't know all this skill of how to manage this AI that will take your job, so you'll be left behind.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
currently, I've seen some factory companies
Mm-hmm.
bringing robotics
Yes.
into the warehouse. So people
Yeah.
who used to work there, they left. But people who
Mm.
upskilled themselves, they took
Mm-hmm.
the position of managing this AI. It's like they have to
Ah.
monitor how this robot is
Yes.
working.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
understand they upskilled themselves and they stayed, and other was they were
Mm.
fired. So somehow it
Mm.
will be kind of substitute, but not 100%. But you need
Right.
to upskill yourself so you keep your job. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Currently,
Yes.
writers, so
Mm.
it's so challenging. Writers, people write books because I have
Mm.
technology helping to write book faster, and then I can humanize only
Mm.
text, but everything's coming to the mind. Because before
Yes.
we used to go on the internet and reading books and books. So I
Mm.
just have to ask AI, can you summarize these 10 books for me, and it bring the summary
Mm.
and help me to write another book or publishing
Mm-hmm.
research. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
helper, and we really need to take advantage of that. I know
Yes.
some people are still having fear of AI, but I
Mm.
mean, just go slow. Try today and then leave.
Mm-hmm.
Try, and then you'll see you're
Mm-hmm.
trying, and then oh
Yes.
yes, I love it. You know what I mean? So we
It's
need to
amazing.
use AI because this is
Mm.
how the world is moving. It will never go back. So
Yes.
actually, it's the same as when computer came. I tried
Mm,
to read a story of computers, and people were so
mm,
scared about the computer. It was like, what is going on?
mhm.
Because they used to have papers
Yes.
and pen. And then after, everyone
Exactly.
has a computer now. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I believe people who used to write only with pen and paper, they
Mm,
were left behind. I mean, I don't say we don't
mm.
need this job anymore because we're still
Yeah.
having need this human writing. But many
Mhm.
job was replaced that time because of computers
Yes.
and you
Yeah.
know what I mean.
Yeah.
And this is AI.
Definitely.
AI,
Yeah.
yeah, is moving, and
Mm.
we all need to use it. Otherwise, it
Mhm.
will use us. So
That's so true. I like how you've put that for our audience, and also the example you've used is quite practical and yeah, and I can attest to this. And we were having that conversation yesterday about how, within the education space, we had that issue to start with where we didn't know what to do with AI. We had these assignments being submitted by our students, and it turned out it was 100% written by AI. We didn't have any policy in place. So, what could we do? And so that summer, I noticed that in all the academic spaces, there were webinars and seminars on what to do with AI, because we could see that if we didn't do something, it could take over the space in the
yeah,
sense that we will leave the students confused, and also we needed to upskill to know how to use AI for even our work, which ended up, like you said, saving us hours of paperwork sometimes and just sitting there doing your research before your classes. It was so, time consuming. So I can attest to the fact that within the academic space, AI has been helpful.
yeah,
However, policy, I would say, because we have to think about the ethical,
hmm,
way of using AI. So just to echo what you said, that it's in embracing it and getting on board that we can even begin to influence some of
yeah.
these policies that need to be made around this in different industries. But yeah, that's so nice to hear from an expert about how we can. Yeah, and you've given me some ideas as well about upskilling, so that I can think of other ways to transition into if these things should impact our industry in that way as well. So thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Thank
Um,
you. I want to mention that
yes, go ahead.
currently it's impossible to have any essay, any exam without AI. Currently it's impossible
Mm,
because
mm,
mostly everybody has used
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
So, I
yeah.
mean, as a professor, as you're a professor, I think what
Mm,
you need to do in education now
mm,
is to grade people based on the idea, what they wanted to
mhm.
say, but not what has
Yes,
been written, because AI will do
yeah,
that. And
yeah.
even when people are doing essay, they usually give those points to
Hmm.
this AI, and they say, "Give
Hmm.
me an essay on this based on this date, on this
Yes.
point." And I
Hmm.
think this is the way you need to start
Mm,
making a grade, but not based
yes.
on the
Yeah.
written. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. So true, because and then also, because we work within lots of policies and we have to stay within them. So you're quite right in what you said, because like I said, that then led us to coming up with policies that
hmm,
guided how they could use it. And we didn't stop there. We even went on, and we would always do this at the beginning of every academic year, to teach them how to use AI, so that there is no hiding. We know this thing is there, we know you will use it, but so in kind of giving them the tools, in the sense of, this is a good way to use AI. These are the sorts of prompts that would. So they, it shows that we're all on the same platform, and we are aware of these things. And then they would have to, obviously. state within their statements with their submission whether they've used AI and how they've used it. So in a sense, it's encouraging the use of it, but then teaching them to use it ethically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's thank you for saying that as well. And it's also, like you said, we don't just grade them based on text alone. So it will
Yeah.
be in the application of the
Yeah.
knowledge,
Mhm.
and this will come, this will be revealed through their presentations and discussions and what have you. So yes, you're quite right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Before you leave, I just want to ask you, we're well into 2026, but what one word would you say set the tone for your 2026, just for yourself personally, if you could?
Upskilling.
Upskilling, right. Okay, we'll remember that so that we can do that as well.
Yeah, because I
Fantastic.
have some upskilling plan already this year. Like I feel like I
Wow.
need to know. I need to move on. Yeah. Yeah,
Mm,
upskilling. Yeah. This is last year I didn't upskill myself enough, and I feel like
mm,
there's
right.
something I'm missing. Upskilling can
Mhm,
not want to be only in technology. Upskilling
mhm.
can be as well into my mental health,
Yeah.
reading a lot. So
Mhm.
upskilling,
Right,
yeah, upskilling has different stages. Yeah.
right. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much. Even
Thank you
as
so
we've
much,
come to
Lara.
the end of the interview, I would like to thank you for your time. Thank you for your transparency and, sharing so much with us. It's been amazing. And I really look forward to you coming back on this live chat with us, because
I will
there's so much
definitely.
we would love to we would love to speak to you about. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you so
Neema,
much.
it's been wonderful.
Bye.
Bye
Thank
for
you.
now.
Bye.
Bye.